Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm planning to make some Halloween decorations, and I think it will be fun to take you along with me. But before all that, a word from our sponsor. Me, I'm the sponsor of this video. If you want to support the work that I'm doing, you can check out my Etsy store, majoliCATart. It's linked in the description, and you can buy yourself some cute stickers. I have some Halloween themed necklaces. It's a great way to support me. I can make more art and more videos. First, let's make some easy Halloween-inspired candles. You'll need a big white candle and some Posca markers. And first saw this on Instagram, a friend of mine did it. Hi Julia, if you're watching. And I was a bit confused because I thought that, wouldn't Posca markers be toxic? But then after some Googling, I discovered that this is actually a totally safe way of using Posca markers. They're not toxic, they're acrylic-based pens, and there is no toxic ink inside, no alcohol, just water-based acrylic paint. Anyway, you can doodle whatever you want on the candles. I did some skeletons and some ghostly cats because I love ghostly cats, and I did a pumpkin and a bed and a black cat, but you can do literally whatever you want. I've tried this with my kid. She was super interested. She actually loved, doodling on the candles. So I have some of hers as well. Let's do some colorful ghosts. You'll need some pieces of fabric, a needle and a thread, a balloon, an empty jar, and something to stiffen the fabric, so you can use a fabric stiffener, which I couldn't find. So I've used acrylic varnish. First say hi to Picard, and then we can start. The process is pretty simple. You just take pieces of fabric and cut them into squares. Actually, I've used Livia's old clothes for this. I give away all of her clothes that is good and can be reused, but if something has a stain that I can't wash, then I just put it aside and use it for crafts like this, because kids' clothes have the cutest patterns on them. Once you have your fabric squares, you just dip them into varnish or the fabric stiffener if you have it, and then you just place it on top of a balloon that's sitting on top of a jar. You have to leave it overnight to dry, and then once it's dry, the fabric really stiffens, so it holds the shape perfectly. Now you just have to pop the balloon with a needle. I've actually seen this craft on Instagram, and the person who did it just kind of poke the needle on top of the ghost, and the balloon, popped. But I guess the varnish really stiffened the balloon too, so it didn't actually pop. So I had to go underneath it and poke it quite a few times with the needle. But once you pop the balloon, you just get it out. And yeah, that's it. You just have to add some eyes, which I did here with Posca markers because I have many of them. You take a thread and a needle again, and you just pull the thread through the top of the ghost, the head of the ghost, top of the head. And yeah, it's super easy and it looks amazing. Let's make some fun clay pumpkins next. You'll need air dry clay, some acrylic paint, or again Posca markers, whichever you prefer, a damp sponge, and some clay modeling tools. You start with, making a ball of clay, and then you kind of squish it, you do your best to make it look like an actual pumpkin. I've added a leaf here, but I didn't Google how does a pumpkin leaf look like. Even though like we grow pumpkins, so I'm not sure like why I went like with this sort of leaf, because now it kind of looks like an apple. But yeah, I've made another one later on without the leaf. Again, you have to leave this to dry, and once it's dry, you just paint it like with orange. I mean, you can paint it pink. Like a pink pumpkin would look amazing. And I've put some acrylic glossy varnish on it, just for it to look more fancy. And it makes a perfect plant decoration. Let's make a tea light ghost cover next. You'll need air dry clay again, acrylic paint or Posca markers, a roller, some clay modeling tools, a sponge and some water, and acrylic varnish again. If you want to, this step is optional. You just have to roll the clay and make it like nice and thin. Then you cut it into a circle. You just have to make sure the candle will fit. You don't want to make it too small, because if it's too small, then it won't have the air needed for the fire to burn. So, the bigger, the better. And the same goes for the holes that you will make for the eyes. Once you have the circle, you just go on and model the ghost however you want it. Then you cut the eyes. And you leave it to dry. Once it's dry, you can paint it white. You don't have to the air clays white already, but I kind of wanted it to be like white. So I painted it white, and then I added rosy cheeks because that's what I like, but you don't have to do that. And once that's dry, I put the glossy varnish on it. I think it's turned out super cute, but just be careful when you are firing it. Put a plate underneath the candle or a piece of wood like I did here, just so the heat doesn't burn the fabric or the, whatever you have underneath. Let's make some cute ghost garland. You need an old book that you want to cut, or I've used some printed papers that I had lying around. You'll need white thread, you'll need some clips, pencil or a marker, and some scissors, and you'll need a hole puncher to make the eyes. This one is pretty simple. You just draw a ghost, cut it, make some holes with the puncher for the eyes, and then you hang it on a thread with some clips. And as well, this is super easy for kids to make. My daughter is 4, she really enjoyed it. So this one is super kid friendly.
Why do you seem so scared? All I wanted to do is play with you.
And the last one, let's make some cute ghost spins. You'll need air dry clay again, a roller, some clay modeling tools, acrylic paint or Posca markers, again optional acrylic varnish. I really like it when it's shiny, so I've used it. You'll need pins and you'll need super glue. You roll the air dry clay to be super thin again. You cut, little ghosts with a scalpel or whatever you have. At this point, you want to make sure the edges are nice and smooth. You leave them overnight to dry. Once they're dry, you can paint them white. Add eyes. I've added rosy cheeks, and as well I always add reflections in the eyes So I don't know, they look more cute. And yeah, once that's dry, you put the varnish on and then again, leave it to dry. Then you take your super glue and you glue the pin to the ghost, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you make any, please do tag me on Instagram. I will be making another one, 7 more crafts next week. So I hope to see you then. Bye!